Okay, so just a little brief chat about the peer review. I wanted you to feel comfortable with the peer review, the process involved. So it actually uses some discussion boards. One discussion board, you'll post your your peer review draft, which is due separately from your peer review, right? And I don't grade your peer review draft. That just simply, if you post it on time, then you're eligible to take place in the peer review. If you don't post your peer review draft on time, you're ineligible to take part at all in the peer review, right? So that kind of takes care of that. I don't need to grade the peer review draft, but the peer review draft is what people use to do the peer review. So you'll team up with another person that meets the minimum word count for the peer review draft, and that's posted. So you need to make sure that the draft you choose does in fact meet the minimum word count, or you won't get full credit for your peer review, which would be a tragedy considering you put all that work into it. But the reason why I have that rule is so people don't post shoddy peer review drafts that aren't long enough, right? So you go and you look for, after you post, you have to post your peer review draft first. Then you're eligible to try to choose a partner, look for a partner, right? Now, sometimes we have an odd number of people in the class, right? So that means that one person will not have their essay reviewed by another person. It doesn't. Everyone will be able to review another essay and get credit for that review, but you won't have another person review your essay. So let's talk about that if you happen to be the odd person out, right? Or maybe your partner flakes on you and you let some days go by and then you realize this person is not going to get back to me, and you want to choose another paper or something like that. Sometimes that happens. Or you'll just never get, your partner will flake and you'll never get a peer review from that partner. So let's talk about that for a second. Now, 95% of the value of this assignment, it isn't to get your classmate who may actually be a bad writer and give you bad advice about how to write. That is not the purpose of this assignment at all. The purpose is to give you experience working with another person's essay. You sharpen up your editing skills, right? You're looking at the essay, you're using the questions that I put forward for the peer review assignment, right? You're answering those questions. And then you're writing your comments at the end in essay format with paragraphs, a beginning, a middle, and an end in those comments, right? At the end of the peer review form that you follow that has the questions and everything. So now when you do that, you're building your own skills so that then when you put your gaze, your educated, sharpened gaze back on your own work, you'll be more effective at chiseling and molding and polishing your own final draft for the essay, right? So that is 95% of the purpose. Now, you may end up having a genius partner. It happens, right? You may have a partner that's A, motivated, and B, pretty smart and pretty good writer. Then, that's an added bonus for you. But that really isn't the purpose of the peer review. The purpose is to give you some experience, analyzing, scrutinizing, and a little editing experience. You don't go in and check all their grammar form. That's not necessary, right? You're not expected to do that. But go in, make substantive suggestions on content, style, and some other aspects that I raise in those questions for the peer review. So now let's talk about how you post your peer review when you're done. What I'd like you to do, you post it in two places, right? Now, the most important to you is posting it in the assignment area for me to grade. That's how you get your grade on the assignment. But out of the goodness of your heart, and because you're a good Samaritan, and because you want the same to be done for you, you also post it on the discussion board where you paired up with your partner quickly, right around the same time, right when you finish. You post it for me to grade and you post it for your partner to read, so your partner might be able to benefit from your comments, right? So you post your finished peer review in two places. Don't forget to do that. And don't forget to meet the deadline for that, and that can be found in the calendar, right? So this assignment, may throw some people off. It's really not very complex. It's pretty common to all composition classes. I've taught creative writing. I've taught other kinds of writing classes too. We have the peer reviews in there too, right? So, in fact, creative writing classes, peer reviews are pretty common. And in fact, it's just almost a given that every class is going to have that. As far as composition classes, I would say at least 3/4 of them use the peer review method to help sharpen your editing skills on your own for your own papers by looking at your neighbor's paper, right? So now there is, in the course information area, there is a little lecture on the peer review. So make sure you read that. Don't just email me and say, I don't know what to do. You're expected to, do your homework in terms of reading the lectures, right? So go to the course information area, look for that. If you're unclear on the assignment, please read my, the time that I put, please read that lecture that I've posted up there for you before you just email me with questions, because those might be answered by the lecture that I've spent a considerable amount of time writing. And then, of course, be sure to read the directions for the assignment too. In the discussion board, there's a couple little tidbits here and there. And so anyway, looking forward to reading your peer reviews. And please do email me if you have any questions, obviously after you do the readings. And so I'm here for you. Now, if you happen to be the odd person out, I don't take over that role, and I don't become your peer review partner. I'm sorry, I just don't do that. So it happens. I'm sorry if that happens to you, but I won't end up becoming your peer review partner if that does happen. Okay, cheers.